Alright. Ooh, Malamar. I love Malamar. Contrary Malamar is the next thing I'm breeding. Because Superpower. Superpower is about the only thing that can take advantage of Contrary on Malamar. But I do have to watch out for that. So, the problem is, the best thing I've got to deal with Malamar is Porygon because of Signal Beam. And the best thing to deal with Porygon is Superpower. Oh, man. I don't know if he's going to be able to OHKO, though. His defense is pretty good, though. Especially when you've got the Eviolite on there. Eviolite will be okay. Eviolite makes him okay. Alright. So we do have to watch out for Superpower on Malamar. That's going to raise his attack and his defense because of Contrary. We have to worry about Dragalge because Dragalge is super bulky. Particularly special defensive. So we've got special defensive on Dragalge usually. And then we've got Lapras, which is usually special defensive. Also going to have a curse set. We've got Mega Kangaskhan available, but Mega Kangaskhan is banned, so since we usually play by Smogon sets, I usually ask that we don't have Mega Kangaskhan. Mega Lucario, also a viable option, and Togekiss is just stupid annoying. So hello everybody, this is DKG's Avos. We've just talked about how everything is stupid and annoying. That's not quite true, but Togekiss is going to go ahead and lead it out. And I'm going to start it out. I'm going to start it out with some swagger hacks. I know that I'm going to be able to... It doesn't matter if I get paralyzed, because I've got Prankster. So as long as I can get him confused, first of all, raise that attack, we're going to be okay. Because I'm not worried about being paralyzed first. I'm going to play Togekiss's game against him. Confuse and paralyze. Suck it, Togekiss. So I went for Confusion first, which seems a little weird, but the biggest thing that Togekiss is worried about is hitting me with a special attack like Air Slash and making me flinch. So I'm playing Togekiss's game against him. I went for the Confusion, hoping that I would get some Confuse hacks. Got him. And so now I don't have to worry about it. Now it's slower than me, absolutely. I'm just going to keep raising it. I'm going to go for Swagger one more time. So you can see that was a pretty effective way of nulling out that stupid jerk. Alright, so now we need to scout out what this Lapras is. If it's a curse set, then slowing it down doesn't do anything. I don't know. I really don't know. But for the most part, there's not a whole lot I think I have to worry about on Lapras to make Klefki want to switch out. Getting some good confused luck. Alright. So now, first and foremost, I want to get that light screen up because I do have it on Klefki today. I don't normally run screens on Klefki. Normally that's reserved exclusively for play rough. Because I run an impish nature on Klefki for some weird reason. You could run like a bold nature. Oh, whoa. That's an illegal move. That is an illegal move. Alright, Lapras is running an illegal move. Alright. Things to know. Alright, Lapras. You can see why that would be an illegal move. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill, you just kind of get lucky with it. So, it is what it is. I'm going to go for Brick Break here, knowing that it's usually very special defensive bulky instead of defensive bulky. We're going to do more damage that way. We don't have leftovers on our Azumarill at the moment, so it is what it is. I'm still reeling over that sheer cold. But we clear out the Lapras anyway. We only had to sacrifice a Pokemon and 3/4 for it. But, man, Sheer Cold is really legal in VGC. That's obnoxious. Alright, now Azumarill with Aqua Jet, really not going to do that much, so I'm going to go for the Play Rough on Dragalge. Play Rough is super effective. Poison damage will really hurt Azumarill, but I'm hoping that we're faster than Dragalge, which it looks like we are. We did pretty well. Toxic damage, or Toxic on Azumarill, the first turn not really going to do anything. It might take us down by about half the HP, but the second turn it's going to kill us. Oh, there we go. 3 HP left. Now, any poison move whatsoever would have taken him out, but Toxic, any damage dealing poison move would have done it. Now, the next turn, Azumarill is dead, but we've taken Dragalge down pretty far. We do have Psychic that we can do with our Porygon 2 that we don't have to worry about as much. I did go for Play Rough again. It's not going to do nearly as much against Togekiss, but they do usually run a Calm Nature. So, being as Togekiss usually runs Calm, and the only the only priority move that it can get is Extreme Speed, which doesn't have a whole lot of secondary effects or really utility. I'm not terribly worried about it. But with that, I'm going to go into Nidoking. Nidoking's got T-Bolt, so we should be okay there. He's also got Ice Beam, so we should be able to force either Togekiss to die, or if he switches into, like, Dragalge, it'll be super effective against him. Awesome. Alright, Malamar. Malamar. Alright, Malamar, pretty all-around bulky, if I remember correctly, from when I played with him last week. I really don't want to deal... I don't want to do that superpower... I want to deal with superpower on a switch. That's not something I want to deal with. Trevenant might be able to take a... the Psychic Bladey move, but I don't think that he's going to take Night Slash. So I don't want to deal with that. So I might just have to stick it out with Nidoking, see what we're up against. We'll go with Earth Power, just to see what's going on. Alright, we did alright. Again, Psycho Cut, it's not something that I want to deal with on... yeah, it wasn't Psycho Cut, it was Night Slash I didn't want to deal with. Which, granted, Psycho Cut was probably going to come out just because of Nidoking. Nidoking takes it pretty well. Malamar's pretty bulky. Which, I mean, of course, now I'm not showing it off because I took him out in 2 shots. But Malamar can be pretty bulky. Especially defensively bulky with, well, superpower. It's weird. Based on all the things that we've seen so far, I kind of expect this to be a Mega Kangaskhan. So I expect to see Mega Kangaskhan, and what I'm going to do right now, first and foremost, go into Trevenant. Trevenant's going to have issues with Sucker Punch. But he's not going to have to deal with any sort of power-up punch problems or anything like that. So we're just going to try and suck some HP down. Mixed Attacker, that's interesting. That'll take you by surprise, that's for sure. Alright, Flamethrower. Interesting. No complaints here. I like seeing movesets that throw people off, and I can't say that it didn't throw me off. It did. I did not expect that. Alright, so there is that Lucario still out and about that we have to worry about. Mega Lucario is a pretty well built to be a physical attacker. and so we do have to worry about that. I don't want to take a whole lot straight to the face from a Mega Lucario, especially with what is it, Bone Rush? Bone Rush, a multi-turn move that may not be stab, but is pretty powerful. And then Mega Lucario with like 145 base attack, just crazy. Alright, so we are burned, so we're not going to do near as much damage. We're going to take some damage every turn, but this is at least a Resto Chesto Trevenant. Physical Wall, Resto Chesto Trevenant. It's unfortunate that it doesn't take special attacks that well, but you know what? Resto Chesto. But with Dragalge coming out and around, I really don't want to deal with it. That's all there is to it. I don't want to deal with it. Well, I don't think I can outspeed him. So we're going to go into Walrein. We're going to switch into Walrein because Walrein is our special defensive wall, and we're going to be alright. Our defensive wall should not be in against a special attacking, say, Dragalge, which we know is going to have either Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor. Probably this late in the game, Draco Meteor is not going to be a great play. A Poison move might have been a little better, just because you already have Trevenant. If I'm dumb enough to keep Trevenant in, you force him out. It's a stab move as well, and you've got the chance to poison. Dragon Pulse doesn't have a whole lot going on for it. And you can see that I can protect right now and basically get all of my HP back. Unfortunately, he missed. I missed the Frost Breath. That would have O-code right there. I'm fairly certain. Just because it does the critical every time, guaranteed crit. Guaranteed crit. I didn't go for the Hail because it's so late in the game that there's not a whole lot of need for it. It's not a necessity to have Hail at this point. Absolutely 100% not a necessity to have it. So, I'm just going to stick it out with Walrein, try and get that Frost Breath off. There we go. Got it. We're going to see if it would have O-code. Looks like it would have. Fantastic. Always going to be a critical on Frost Breath. Has 60 base damage, but it's always a critical. It's nice. It does miss occasionally, though. It's 90 accuracy, which, I mean, is acceptable for something that does that much damage. Alright, Lucario. I expect to see you Mega. Alright, so I do expect to see either like Bullet Punch or maybe a Bone Rush on the off chance that somebody's using that. Extreme Speed, a good move for Lucario. Also, Close Combat type, well, any fighting move ever on a Lucario. Especially against Walrein, which is half Ice type, which will take super effective damage against fighting moves. I mean, fighting moves would deal with Walrein pretty well, especially because he is special defensive bulky, and that's about it. He's really special defensive bulky, 217 HP, nothing to laugh at though, so you can count on him to take a hit every once in a while, but if it's super effective, probably not from a physical Pokemon. We're not getting the Confuse hacks that we really wanted, but we've got Lucario down low enough, we should be able to clear him out at this point. I'm going to go ahead and leave Walrein in, just waste one more move. It doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, but it will make it so that I can go for, you know, anything on a safe switch. A little surprised to see Rock Smash in there. That might be one that he had from the game. Could be. Alright, we're going to try this. I don't think Nidoking can outspeed a Lucario. It's not even remotely a possibility. But he's got Earth Power. It's a stab move, so if he can use it, we're good. Mixed Attacker. Alright, Lucario. A lot of mixed attackers on this team. Alright, fine. We'll send out Trevenant. I didn't want to throw out Trevenant right away. Trevenant is burned, but we can deal with that with Rest. So we will deal with that with Rest. He's got Earthquake, so he can do super effective damage to Lucario. But I do want to deal with that burn first, so that I'm not taking stupid amounts of damage. And you can see that because, well, Trevenant's not a special defensive Pokemon. He's taking more damage from Dragon Pulse than he really should. Dragon Pulse is a pretty good move on Lucario. Mega Lucario has 140 base attack, if I recall correctly. And we're going to get the Harvest. Nice. Nice luck on that Harvest. I think we might be able to take 2 Dragon Pulses and still live, but I'm not banking on that. Yeah, we're good. No matter what, we'd be able to rest at the end of that and make sure that we had enough HP to take him out if that didn't hit. But GG Nitro, great game.